Welcome back to Cinema Flicks Music Picks. I'm Davey, your host with the most, the beast with the least. Well, the least I can do today is a quick video, about the new release from Black Country New Roads. Brief history of me with the band. So I discovered them pretty much at inception because I was already a fan of Jockstrap, and Georgia from Jockstrap is in Black Country New Road. So I was following her and heard about Black Country New Road. So when they released their debut, I was on it like a bonnet, and what a record, what a debut record this was. It was the Rough Trade I got this one from, I think. Might as well always just say Rough Trade. So it's the marbled brown limited edition signed lyric booklet version, which is signed by, if you notice at the bottom, they scrolled out Black Country New Road and wrote Pink Floyd, which might make that a bit more valuable. So it's a Pink Floyd record now. Hello, Discogs. So yeah, and there's the marble brown. So look, you can see a bit of the marble brown there. So what a debut! What an absolute stomper of a debut, with Isaac's lyrics and incredibly different vocal style with a wonderful arrangements from the band, and they seem to play any and every instrument. You think, oh, what can they do after that? And straight away they hit us with this glorious covers EP. It's absolutely sensational. You know, it's just 4 tracks, but we got Mamma Mia, Chiquita, Tend to Pretend, and Someone Like You, which, wow, bit of an esoteric choice there, double dose of ABBA included. You think, okay, that was a bit of fun to tide us over. What have you done for me lately, BCNR? And they said, well, we're bringing out our next album barely a year after the first one. Ants from up here, and same as the first one, you can have a nice signed edition from Rough Trade, which again signed by the whole band, not signed by, although Isaac's now just where is he? IW there, Isaac Wood. Brilliant record, sensational. Takes everything from the first record and doubles down on it. It is phenomenal. Some of the tunes on here, I don't need to go into it in detail because it made my top 5 albums of 2022 video, which you can check out. This just blew my mind. Stunning stuff, sensational. And then Isaac announces he's leaving the band. So this would be his final release with the band, the second album. You think, oh my goodness, this isn't just like a frontman leaving. He's literally the voice of the band lyrically as well as being vocally. You think, Christ, what are they going to do? You know, they're rudderless, perhaps. You know, what's going to... I know, tell me about it, but, you know, what are they going to do with their Isaac, man? And then I thought, wow, they've got, you know, George has already got Jockstrap, and they're great. They brought out an album last year, and that was just as good. That made my top 10. So, you know, George is in the band, maybe she can take over, and they've got May, she's a great singer, and they've got, you know, loads of great talent in the band. I'm sure they could do an instrumental album for all we know. And then the next thing we got was another covers EP to tease us, tantalises, featuring Happier Than Ever, the Billie Eilish song, and I Think I Need a New Heart by the Magnetic Fields, Regina Spektor's Us, and So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings by Caroline Polachek, who's got a new album out that's bloody good. And that was it. Okay, you've done it again. You've done a covers EP to tide us over. What's the new music going to be like, though? So they announced two shows down at Bush Hall in that there London. Was it London? Well, England anyway. It's all London to me. And what was it going to be? They're going to do some old material, some new stuff, a mix. They can't do all new stuff, can they? Can they? Oh, it's Black Country New Road. Of course they can. And they recorded both shows both with different set lists as well. So we only have one of them, which is nifty. And they had theme nights, so this was prom, the end of year prom night, 1981 prom, and we have BCNR's live at Bush Hall, and as you'll see from the obi strip there, it's indeed Japanese. You cannot get this on CD in the West. It's up for pre-order, but you can only get it on vinyl. It's out in about a month's time. I've pre-ordered the vinyl anyway, which probably gives you a clue as to my opinion of this. But I'll let you have a wee look, a wee nosy, so you see what it might look like. So we unsheathe and we drop our obi strip on the floor. So there's your obi, spine on it. For those of you reading Japanese, this is a wonderful day for you. Hajimamashite. There you go, nice simple cover. Putting the jigsaw pieces back together of the band, if you want to read it that way. And yeah, nice simple back as well, with a variation on the band's logo, but nothing too radically different. And then you get, as is de rigueur en français, with Japanese releases, CD comes in rice paper sleeve, and then we have booklet, which gives us a bigger version of the exact same artwork. So there you go, if you want a better swatch at that. That's rather nice. And some photos. I'll give you a look at those too. So the band all dressed up on the night, prom style. Different types of proms they had. Well, we never had a prom at school, we just get kicked out at the end of the year. But yeah, some very different outfits going on that evening. Black Country New Road live at Bush Hall, and also live in Japan, because they went to Japan last year as well briefly. So the new lineup, everyone except Isaac basically, so still Charlie Wayne, Georgia Ellery of course, Luke Mark, Tyler Hyde, Lewis Evans, who sings a couple of tracks actually, and May Kershaw, who's probably, I think you'd have to say the lead singer now. May does most of the vocals, with a whole load of crew members there if you want to take a look. And not much photography to look at, but I'll show you when we do get to it. Now this was streamed on YouTube. They recorded the whole thing and released it for free on YouTube as well. In fact, we'll do the photograph part first because there ain't many. If anyone knows the answer to this, stick in the comments. Why are Japanese booklets so plain? Why do they never have many photographs and things? Like, the lyrics always seem to come on their own, just like this. Okay, like absolutely nothing with them, just. And then you can have text, as long as it's not associated with lyrics. You can have photographs. So there's some more celebratory photos with some backstage stuff at the back. Charlie getting some makeup on by the looks of it. Now, May wears are rather wonderful. To see her wearing those gloves, playing the bass, it's quite something. Yeah, so there you go, that's all your photos. Wow, what a live record. Normally I wouldn't consider a live record something that would be qualifiable for my end of year lists when I come to it. This will absolutely be in contention, because first of all it's all new material, and second of all it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. You would never know this is a band that had to totally start from scratch and think, what are we? What do we do? Who are we? Where are we? My God, what have I done? Up Song. Right, Up Song. It's a celebration of everything that's gone before. It's a celebration of all this stuff and all these LPs that I showed you there. It's a celebration of that era. So you get the glorious refrain that's heavy as well. It's the most rocking thing in the album, and then it stops, and then just the band just always as one starts singing, "Look at what we did together, BCNR, friends forever. Look at what we did together, BCNR, friends forever." And it sounds like that would be cheesy, but it's not, because it is a catharsis to know that they're going to continue making this wonderfully bizarre, esoteric music that nobody's making. Absolutely nobody's making music like them. And yeah, May's voice on it, I mean, it starts off a bit like, actually, Antelope Bit starts. It starts off quite with a bit of sax, almost out of tune. You're wondering, where's this starting? It's almost like starting like a jam. And at the end of it, May says, "You'll need to bear with us because we're kind of working through this material. It's not the finished product." You think, yes, it is. It absolutely is. This is remarkable stuff. The Boy is sensational. It's a much more melancholy track, but it's almost progressive rock. In fact, progressive folk in places. It's kind of whimsical. I mean, it's about, it's first of all, it's set into chapters, and May will literally say chapter 1, and then sing about what happens in that chapter. So Robin woke one morning, broke his fast with a worm, tried flying in his commute, but he floundered and fell to the ground. And there's a real lovely allegory about the animal kingdom and our relationship with it as you get on through the chapters of that. It's 3 chapters. And yeah, that is brilliant too. What happens with some of the music in that, some of the melancholy, breaks me. But yeah, I almost don't want to. There's a part with a deer, and yeah. I Won't Always Love You is one of the greatest things that this band have done, maybe the greatest. The vocals on it are absolutely sensational. The slow sax, the flute, the way it builds up, small guitar lines, drums that come in and out and change rhythm. It's a big signature with BCNR. The rhythm changes all the time. Don't rest for 2 seconds because something will have changed. Nothing stays the same. And it's unlike Isaac's lyrics. They're a lot, I don't want to say plainer, and I don't want to say more obvious, because that's rude, but they're more identifiable. They're not as obscure. I mean, I'll give you a sample. "I will always love you and I'll always want you, even though we know the time's not right. I cry at night for you. I'll always need you though. I know I've made it out, I don't. I'll hide the pain caused by our actions, even when I said it's alright. I won't always love you, and I won't always want you. I needed you so I could learn more. Who knows what you needed me for?" And I'll leave the last little chorus for you to discover yourself, the last little verse. And some of the music on that last part is insane. That has a build, and the most beautiful crescendo. Sometimes their builds do build into a big flourish, and sometimes it's tension, and they don't give you the release. That's totally against everything that music tells you should do. If you're going to build, you need to give the no. They will just bring it back down again and then not resolve it. So bold. Across the Pond Friend is the first track song by Luke, and that's a gorgeous song about literally flying across the pond and having a relationship across the sea, and that is gorgeous. I mean, he's not the strongest singer in the world, but he's a great communicator of lyrics. Some of the way the band come in to back him on vocals, and some of the instrumentation on it is just insane. It should be illegal. It shouldn't be allowed. That is a gorgeous song. It's the best way to describe this album. There's hardly any bangers on it. It's a much more melancholy BCNR, despite the fact that we start with a Friends Forever kind of anthem. This is a much, much more melancholy BCNR. Even when the next song is called Laughing Song, it never picks up. That's a sad song from start to finish. I mean, I don't want to go through the whole thing because I'm sure most of you have seen the thing. The Wrong Trousers is on here, named after the Wallace and Gromit short, and that's, you know, profound and heartbreaking as well. And then you get to what's probably the sunglasses of this record, if you will, the big epic anthem. The BCNR fans are already going nuts for Turbines, Pigs. So it's about 9.5 minutes, nearly 10, and it is sensational. What that does with tempo changes, time signatures, again, build up, tension, release, build up, tension, no release. It's just stunning. There are guitar parts in there, bass parts in there, insane drumming. They just don't make sense. No other band on the planet is playing the way that BCNR play. No band. But it all sounds at once completely fresh and vibrant, but you know, to play this fresh and vibrant, they have to have rehearsed it to within an inch of its life. But doing it as a live album keeps it fresh. And the mistakes are here. There are a couple of beats missed, there's a couple of raw notes, there's a couple of vocals that are a little off pitch, and it just makes it being live. It gives it a different, it's not been tinkered in the studio at all. You can tell that they've not gone back and overdubbed it to perfect this live album, which is just, yes, this is the true spirit of BCNR. Dancers is probably the next most upbeat thing on the records. That ends up with a big group sing along as well. When they're singing, dancers stand very still on the stage, and that line gets repeated over and over and over again. You recognise their faces, but once you think past that, all the elements, they're gone. I used to know that girl. Well, I thought so anyway. What the hell she was doing? She was just making sounds. And then you get a reprise of Up Song, but this time you don't get the look at what we did together. So instead of it being a lament and then a celebration for Isaac's era, it's now a celebration of the future, because they're saying, look at what we did together, we survived it and we're still going strong. Here we are with a whole new album. So it takes on a different, after you listen to the set, you think, yeah, they're still here, it's still BCNR. It's wonderful stuff. It's wonderful stuff. And that doesn't end up with the big sing song. You think that would be where you'd have the crowd going, yeah, BCNR, look at what we did together. No, it's not. It's low key. It's almost right, let's not make a big deal about it. Okay, look, things happened and it's been a difficult time. We're here, we're not going anywhere, but tip your waitress on the way out and enjoy your graduation. A sensational live album, a sensational album. I'm not even going to add the caveat of being live to it, because it's just a sensational record, whichever way you cut it. I don't like to say these things early in the year that, it'll definitely be in contention for my top albums of the year, but it'll definitely be in contention for my top albums of the year. I mean, we've had so many good albums this year already. It's been such a wonderful start to the year, because I think so many people were holding back material post-COVID and they didn't want to tour it and blah blah blah. BCNR, look at what we did together. BCNR, friends forever. I can't wait to see what they do next. Already. Wonderful band. If you ain't on the BCNR train, get on board. Go back to the Isaac stuff, because it's wonderful, and then listen to this. They've put the whole concert on YouTube. I'll link to it below. You can watch the whole thing. You won't need to just watch a couple of clips. You can watch the whole thing as it's being performed. They've made a little concert film out of it. It's an hour long. Brilliant stuff. So Please release that on DVD or Blu-ray, please, please. Anyways, thank you very much for your patience. I've somehow managed to take up 20 minutes talking about a video that I said would be quite short, but hey. So, as always, stay very safe out there on this gloriously damp, dour Tuesday morning in Scotland. But if you're not in Scotland, you might have some better weather. Apart from that, as always, my friends, love and indeed mercy.